What is up, YouTube? What's up, Twitter? What's up, Facebook? How is everybody doing today? Welcome to another, just talking about the dream. I guess it's another call on Tyrone, but we're gonna be talking about the dream today. I got Davonte with me. How you doing today?
I'm doing good, even feeling better since now we are 2-0 since nobody expected that.
Yeah. Um, I think this was the first two games were exciting. They were challenges. Nobody knew how we were gonna come out and play. We just had a whole bunch of new players. You didn't know how we were gonna play, and we actually performed. I give our coach credit. I give her credit for real. Because really and truly, I didn't. I was scared. I was scared of Dallas. I was really more scared of Dallas than LA. But the way we came out and performed, and we really like blew them out. I'm proud of the girls.
Yeah, I'm what I'm seeing from these first two games that is Coach Wright has definitely been a culture shock to this team, especially when you see the clips of the locker room. I haven't seen, and there's no diss to Nikki, but haven't seen that locker room that excited in so long to just be together, just to get that first win and celebrate Coach Wright, and then fight so hard to defend the Sparks to get that second win. 'Cause, Erica almost turned the ball over like and messed up the game. So I'm so glad that they're showing this fight early. And I know we're a quote unquote rebuilding team, but they're not looking like one right now.
No, we don't look like we're rebuilding at all. This is a kind of reminiscent of the Hawks run, in my eyes, is where we went and got older pieces, more mature pieces, more like pieces that were good for the team and good for the welfare of this team, and just made the young people, the young girls got to catch up, and that's what they did. They look like Rhyne looks amazing. She is like a superstar in my eyes already, and this is her first two games, and she's just amazing. What she's done these first two games, I don't think I've ever seen out of a rookie. Like what she's done is crazy.
No, it's absolutely legendary, and she's definitely showing that she was deserving of the number one selection. And then we have to remember that she's doing this without the full supporting cast, because Tiffany Hayes has her overseas commitment. So I can imagine Tiffany Hayes opening up the offense even more because of her ability to slash to the hoop. Because that what I've seen that the Dream struggle with is driving inside, and then finishing. Because I don't know if it's different with the refs this year, but it doesn't really seem like they're calling a lot of fouls down low. So I can't wait to see Tiffany Hayes come back and truly unlock this offense.
Yeah, I think Tiffany is the key factor. Um, she's gonna be an X factor for this team when she comes back. Um, Definitely she opens up her and Ryan open up that big guard combo type of offense where they can get to the hoop and slash when they need to. And I think I like Mo coming off the bench. I think I like her in that 6-7 role off the bench
Hmm.
because there's not a lot of backup centers that can match her height. Really and truly, like we really are a big team. I think we talked about this in a couple episodes back of how big we are. Like we're not a small team. The smallest person might be Christy, and that's just by height. I'm saying by height. Like we're not a short team at
You talking about
all.
starting lineup?
Yeah, starting lineup wise, we're
Uh,
really tall.
hmm.
And then you bring Monique off the bench. A lot of teams can't, match that height advantage. Really.
They also can't match her energy because she comes out there looking to get every single thing, get every
Oh
single
yeah.
thing on, and make sure you work for it on the offensive end. So that's something I really appreciate from her coming off the bench because you see Cheyenne Parker doing as much as she can down low, and you bring in Monique, who's just a big ball of energy. So that's a good 1-2 punch at center currently.
The rotation is really nice. I like the rotation. I want to know if Nia Coffee is okay. I don't think we got any news on that because she did limp off the court last night. I want to know if she's okay to play Friday. Um, well, that's tomorrow. Because I don't. Last we saw is her limp off the bench. I don't know. I don't know if you watched the press conference or not. I haven't yet.
No, I
But I
didn't
don't know.
notice an injury. I did watch the game, but I probably missed that part. I did notice that. I think I talked about it, but Rhyne Howard seemed to be trying to hide her lip. So I think
Oh
she did get
yeah,
smacked. I mean, it was a big blister, so I'm hoping she's all right as well.
yeah. I think like you said, they're not calling a lot of fouls down low.
Yes,
They're
I
not.
don't know if that's a different thing for this season alone because I do know like as far as Liz Cambage, they was calling a lot as everybody's driving down there. It seemed like just people you get tackled and then they're like turnover and then so I was like
Yeah,
some of these got to be some fouls. So I'm going to let the season play out. It's just early, so I'm going to wait for them to kind of acclimate to the season as it progresses.
I think the it's really crazy how you see it though because it really is a you know you can if you hit somebody if you bumping them and they're in the post they're gonna call it a foul like they're not gonna they're gonna call it a turnover. It's not really soft this year. You can't be a soft player this year. You like it. You have to come in like aggressive, and you got to take it to people because they're not calling anything.
All right,
It'll probably change after All Star break, but I think like this first half of the season is really important, especially for Champions Cup too. I mean Commissioner's Cup. That's really important. We have to have those wins.
for sure. I definitely agree with that. This was a big game and it was circled because we made that big trade in the offseason, Erica Wheeler and for Kennedy Carter and some picks. So Kennedy Carter did not have the revenge game that everybody kind of circled on their schedule. She went, I believe, an 0 for 7 and did not score a point. What do you think about that?
I'm not gonna I'm not gonna laugh. Um, I'm gonna be a nice, respectful individual. I I told you so, or I that's the most respectful way of saying it. Or don't wish on another team's downfall, and you was a part of that team. I think it's like that. Like don't. I feel like that animosity she had towards the team, and she was only here for 2 years. Like you wasn't here your whole career, and we wasted your whole career while you was here. You could have set through the rebuild, but you wanted to rush it. That's the Cam Reddish type situation. That's how I see it. That's how I see it now. It's like that's a Cam Reddish type situation.
Yeah, I agree. I just didn't think that her attitude was kind of indicative of what Coach Wright is pushing onto the team. Now, seeing how this team is more cohesive and respects each other, because especially when Tiffany Hayes did re-sign, her first thing was to tweet about it and say, I was hoping to play against you this year. So you got your wish, but still, I don't think this team can afford to fight each other, especially in the off season. So I think that's one of the big reasons they got rid of her. Because I know they probably was trying to plan around, building around her, Airy, and Shine and them, and then possibly still getting Ryan. But I mean, it is what it is, and I like how the team is currently made up. They all have a personality that meshes well with each other, and they actually work hard and fight hard for the win. So I like how the team looks currently.
Definitely more cohesive. Definitely more. You can tell it's a more togetherness into the coming into this season. Um, and I think what I like about um Airy is that she doesn't care if she starts or if she comes off the bench. She just wants to play basketball, and she's very very intense. And I think people were thinking I was one of those people thinking she was gonna come in here and start. So when we got Erica Wheeler, I was like, oh well, she ain't gonna start this year. But I'm not mad at it now when I watch this team. Like these first two games, kind of the rotation is giving me reassurance. And the way she's like, using using her players, you can tell like, that's she knows. I give Coach Wright her credit. She knows her players and how they like nobody seems tired. If you really watch how we play, nobody seems tired throughout the
Mhm.
game.
Right.
Everybody looks when they come back in, they're really 100%. And I think that's really something that they had. We have a full coaching staff. That's a lot of teams that don't have that. I like so that's why I think that our own. I want to thank our ownership for that though. That they really are putting effort into this team to be good. Like they won a championship. They won a ring.
Right. Big shout out to Renee Montgomery. Going from player to owner and seeing the big changes in the marketing and showcasing this team. It's been a sigh of relief and just seeing that people actually care. I haven't seen an Atlanta Dream game be sold out. I don't think in a long time. So just having that game be sold out and then having so much love, and it's almost like a Hawks game. You're seeing them hit the swag surf. You're seeing people enjoy their time and actually cheer for this team. And I believe that was a big part of the win. So I think if they can continue with that support, I think this team can go far. It might not just be the well, we're rebuilding, so we're gonna keep losing and get a top pick. They could possibly actually make the playoffs in her first year and actually fully explain the development of this team. I feel like they're developing each game. If you got Rhyne Howard, who's coming here looking like she's already a 10-year vet, it's like, who's the young people on this team? Who's the people that need to acclimate to the game? We really don't have that many players who actually who need seasoning. They all seem to already have it.
I think that's the best part about um this team is that nobody seems young. Nobody had to come in and learn, and it's like they came in at like right on time. Like Ryan to look the way she looks right now is ridiculous. Like she's a rookie and she's dropping 21. Like she just passed her career high. I feel like this whole season she's just gonna keep setting career highs. Like I don't know what you can. There's not a player you can say that about in the W right now. There's not a player you're just like, man, she's gonna keep passing her career high numbers. After a while, you can't pass it. She's gonna pass it one day, and that's the crazy. Like at 21, that's a high point percentage. She might pass it next. She might pass it tomorrow. You never know. So like she's just an exciting player, and like you said, seeing it sold out. I haven't seen a dream game look that packed in so long. I was so happy. I was like, it just brought me joy to see people actually, buying tickets and going to those games. Like and then the court looked good. Everything like the court looked amazing. I hadn't seen it before. Before the actual game. So when I saw it, I was like, that is a crazy. That's a nice looking court. Um, I think it's a fun time. I feel like people need to buy in. Um, and I put a tweet out. If you go on my page, I put a tweet out and I said, when are y'all gonna buy in? I was like, we starting 2-0. When are y'all gonna buy in? So for you, what Davonte, what do you think is gonna take for people to actually buy into this team?
I think if they keep this culture around that they're creating, I think a big part of it being sold out is how much effort Renee Montgomery is putting into this team. Like you can already see it with more promotion. You're seeing more digital editing. You're seeing more pictures. Where we're seeing like more and more media coverage as far as outside media, local media. You're seeing everything come together as far as the W as a whole for this team. If they can keep winning, winning brings the fans as well. And also just got to put a disclaimer out there. I mean, the games aren't expensive at all. So like, if you want to
They're
support
not.
this team, you for surely can. And it's in College Park. It's not an area that's hard to get to. I mean, sometimes Atlanta's traffic is Atlanta's traffic, but when you get there, you're going to have a great time. Everything is affordable.
Yeah, it's a really affordable atmosphere. That's why I feel like people should be there. Like it if you like basketball, you should be at those games. Like these are professionals playing, no matter if they're male or female. This is professional basketball. So you should be there if you like basketball. That's how I feel about it. Like these girls are amazing. We have the like Ultra Shadow said, we just had the number one pick in the draft. Who doesn't want to go see the number one pick in the draft? Really and truly.
Right. This
We
this is the time where everyone with kids, with daughters who aspire to play basketball, we have a team here.
yeah.
We have teams. So male or female, whatever, these are the best women in the world. So, I will definitely implore you to go see these women attack these other teams and win. You know, I wasn't
Yeah,
expecting to come out the gate blowing blowing Dallas wings out the water in the first quarter, and then being neck and neck with the LA Sparks, who look like they have a dream team right now. You know, so and
yeah,
for lack of a better word, but so this team's future is definitely bright.
man. Vegas tomorrow. Vegas is tomorrow. It's a home game, so I'm kind of prepped for it. I think we're
Okay.
gonna beat Vegas.
I mean, that was should be even more packed than the last one. You know, they got
Yeah,
Deja Wilson.
yeah. I we're gonna beat Vegas, and it's gonna be a good win. Like
Yep.
it's gonna be better than the Sparks win. Like if look, the game's almost sold out. Go buy look. The thing that lower that sit close to the court is like $23. You can go if you can afford it. I can't say because these people still recovering off of COVID and all of that. I'm not gonna say just go, but if you can afford it, please be there. Please. It's a crowd, man. It's an atmosphere, and it's not a big stadium. It's really small. It's like a high school gym, kind of, sort of. It's like a if you go to a rec gym, that's what it feels like. Like, go be there and watch them play and cheer them on, cause that's an important game for us. That's like that. If we go 3-0, we've had the most challenging 3-0 in all of WNBA basketball. Really and truly, we've had the
Yeah,
most challenging three
I
and
have to
zero.
agree on that. If we go 3-0, the league has to be put on notice. You know, this dream team has put everybody's eyes on this team, and it's not just a oh well they're you know they're developing. You know, they have a bunch of young players like how Dallas was a few years ago. You know, they're
Yeah,
putting people on notice now. You know, they have actually when you think about it, there's a bunch of veterans on this team that are solid. You know, Erica Wheeler was solid for years for the Sparks. Cheyenne Parker solid for years for the Sky. You know, there's a bunch of solid players on this team. You couple that with a rookie who's coming in here and taking over, especially shooting almost like Ray Allen from the 3 point line. So I can't project the future, but I think this team may just surprise you and hit up a playoff run. You know, and it showed that this team as currently constructed, is kind of far past Nikki Collins' team.
and that okay. So that's a question for me to you. As you say that, um, the culture change is it a big thing? Is it really is it a really big thing for this team now? Because we have an identity. Is that the difference between having Coach Wright and Coach Nikki?
I think the difference is you can tell this team is buying in versus that the last team that we were in the news too many times for nefarious things like Courtney Williams fighting and then Crystal Bradford fighting. Connie being there. It's like all of that didn't help, and then they were losing as well. Bubble year, all of that. It just wasn't good, and it's from the last years, and then it didn't help when you're preparing for the preseason and your coach bolts 2 weeks before the season to go to Baylor. So it's like that put a bad taste in people's mouth. So then now you bring new coach in, Coach Wright, who has an established pedigree as being a former WNBA player, and then you see just the energy just of the locker room from that video, and they're pouring champagne and all of that. It was almost like a culture shock to me because it's like I've never seen this team that happy and that cohesive. So and then you can tell on the court with how they're played. The ball movement is smooth. And each main basket, there's so much support. There's so much smiles. There's so much positive energy. So I think that is exactly what's going to propel them forward.
Yeah. Um. The it's like it feels like a family atmosphere now more than it did under Coach Nikki. Like it felt like it was more of like you're just a professional basketball team when it was Coach Nikki. Now we do understand the whole what they did in the Wubble and all of that. That was that was a different type of that's something that would probably never would never happen again. But I think the thing with this team now is that they actually like last year was so bad because of what happened. Everything that happened last year just made it worse and worse. And
Mm.
it turned people away. But you have to realize, like, you can't. We got to think this is a new year. This is a new coach, new GM, new everything, really. And the stadium is packed. We got to pack the first home game. I don't remember when our first home game was sold out in a long time. It This is our what 25th year. I mean, no, this is our what? How old am I? I'm 20. 15. This is our 15th year in the W. So man, like I mean, you got to think about that. That's the exciting part about it is that we should really be more. It should be more excitement towards this season, and I'm really happy we sold out. The I want every home game sold out. That's how excited I want people to be about this season because
If
we're gonna
possible,
win
that
games.
if possible, they should be. You know, and like if they keep showing that improvement and winning, I have no doubts that this team is going to sell a lot more tickets. You know, especially when you want to see this team play as well and cohesive. You know, I don't see them having them selfish personalities that they had before. It was way too many. So now it's like a whole bunch of positive energy brought in by Coach Wright's toughness. So I can see the vision and what she wants to bring from the team, and they for sure bring it out there on the court. So versus the Aces, I'm expecting the exact same thing. That tough defense, that offense from Rhyne Howard, Christy Wallace, Erica Wheeler, you know, and Cheyenne Parker holding it down low versus Asia Wilson. I'm expecting big things.
I think would you accept let's say it's a better matchup. I understand. I think Cheyenne's the better matchup versus Asia. But let's say Coach Wright thinks Monique is. Would you accept that switch up if it was just because of matchup reasons?
You mean the starting lineup?
The starting lineup, yeah. If Monique started this game just because of matchup reasons.
No, because I don't think Monique brings enough on the offensive end to warrant her starting at the five. Because she's a good post player, but she can't stretch the floor, and Cheyenne can do both. So I think Cheyenne's going to have to remain in the starting lineup, and she's not a bad defender at all. So I think she can do some damage against Asia Wilson as well. So that's why I think same thing before they started her versus Liz Cambage, because it's like well, what are you going to do with Liz Cambage other than double team her? Because she has that
Yeah,
turnaround jumper move. So, but Asia Wilson is definitely a different breed offensively, and I also saw her. I've seen her being able to stretch the floor more. So you're going to have a similar player. So I think
yeah.
Cheyenne versus Asia Wilson is definitely going to be the matchup of the night.
That's gonna be a fun. I think Ryan, man, if Ryan goes out here tomorrow and really, if she goes out here tomorrow and if she gets like 26, I'm gonna scream, bro. Like if she has a 30-point game in her first 5 games, you're not gonna tell me she's not the rookie of the year at that point. Really and truly, like everything looks so natural to her, and I think that's the crazy part. Like when you watch her and you watch, like, okay, so if you think about Erica Wheeler's been in the league for a while, and you watch how Erica Wheeler plays, and then you just watch how Ryan plays. Like last night, I know this is gonna sound crazy, but last night I wanted the ball in Ryan's hands at the end of the game because once I saw Erica Wheeler turn the ball over like 2 times, I was like, okay, please get it out of her hands. And I don't think they knew what they were doing. I feel like it was just a miscommunication because you could see them on the sideline, like saying you could see Coach Wright telling them probably to give her the ball, but I think Eric probably wasn't just paying attention, was just holding it. But I mean, to have that much confidence in a rookie, just think about that. Like I don't think I've ever had that much confidence in a rookie to hold the ball at the end of a game. Like I want you to hold it. I don't want you to get rid of. Like I want you to be the one to hold the ball for 30 seconds and go get me a shot at the end of the shot clock. And I think that was my only problem with that was my only problem last night at the end of the game. I didn't have any complaints anywhere in between the game. I think my only complaint was towards the end. It looked a little bit sloppy. That was it.
Yeah, I think the sloppiness is starting to come from kind of a bit of indecisiveness, especially when a team brings like a double or a zone defense against them, and they kind of try to dribble out of it and get a screen, and then after that screen, you gotta have to make a decision where you pass to the open player, but then if they're covered, you got to make a different decision. So I think a lot of indecisiveness early because you see throughout these first two games that the offense will stall, for a good minute. But the best part is they're also playing phenomenal defense on the other end. So while the offense is stalling, you're preventing the other team from running it up on you until y'all figure it out. So I just think going forward, if they can make quicker decisions, like okay, if Christy Wallace is in the corner, definitely get it to Christy Wallace and stop the kind of the cross court passes. I think that's a cause for a lot of turnovers because you're trying to pass it from end to end, really, like you're corner to corner as well. And then you got a player like Brittany Sykes from yesterday's game who was just going to jump and grab that. So you got to make smarter passes. So I think that's something they certainly are going to have to work on.
Yeah, I think that was the. I think that's my thing now. Um, for them was just to make play smarter. I think that was my only thing was just play a little bit smarter towards the end. Um, but the defense at the end won us the game, which is different. I would say like that was surprising that we didn't have to really play offense. We really had such a. If you really think about it, we had such a large lead. We really had to just play good defense. We didn't kind of have to score. Like they won on a run, and we still had a big enough lead to win that game and not score but one bucket. So I mean, it's stuff like that where it shows we're putting in the work and we're putting in the effort in these games to where we're beating these teams up to where they got to try to come back to beat us. And it's a you want to put them in the dirt type of situation, but in the W, I'm thinking as a team, you can't really put a team in the dirt because anybody can go on a run, anybody can get hot.
Right. I'm not, no, I'm not expecting them to blow these teams out the water. But at the end of the day, if you got the W next to your team, that's what matters at the end of the day. I don't care if they won by 2 or 5. So I'm appreciating these hard fought wins. I'm glad they're going to start creating some more consistency. I know as far as when we said play smarter, they're going to do that, learning and growing with each other game by game. So I'm expecting it a little bit more cohesive versus the Aces. Outside of that, I don't have many complaints from the game, because everybody played as well as they could have possibly played. I've seen she's kind of tinkering a little bit with the rotation because I saw Beatrice Montfermer, who they claimed play a little bit, to throw some more sides at Liz, and then I seen Nas get in for a quick second. So I'm seeing that she's trying to figure out what the rotation is, or is it matchup based, which I think it is matchup based. So I think a lot of interesting variables are coming into this team.
I think that's going to be the fun part about this team is that we can see
Is that we have so many questions to answer. It's like, hey, is this
one
team
and
for
one.
real?
I think it would have been different, but we started 2-0 versus really two really good teams, and that's why I say when it comes to this going 3-0, if we beat the Aces tomorrow, that's a crazy, that's a crazy start to the season for a team that was supposed to be rebuilding.
Right. Everyone said this is the rebuilding team. This is a roster they expect to be in the bottom, but now they're coming out the gate beating teams like the Sparks, beating teams like the Wings, and possibly beating teams like the Aces. The question we're going to have to answer is: are they for real? If this is a team that no one wrote about, no one said, "Yo, this is a team that's going to make the playoffs." Everybody kind of laughed, talking about when people were saying, "Well, yeah, the Dream going to certainly make the finals," certain stuff like that. No one's expecting this team to go that far, but if they get out there and punch you in the mouth, and if Rhyne Howard is the person to lead this team, alongside with Tiffany Hayes, kind of like the 1-2 punch we have with Angel and Tiffany, I wouldn't be surprised, if they go that far and go against what like either Washington, Seattle, teams like that, So as far as they keep winning, they keep over 500. The question we're going to have to ask ourselves is this team for real?
I think that's the scary part for the media though. Think about if you've been a WNBA analyst and your whole thing was the Dream are gonna suck, and now they're good. So now what are you gonna say about them? Now you had to really try to take that team serious, and I think that's an Atlanta sports thing now. Like they have to take us serious.
It would also
And then
change the landscape because it's like this team didn't make many wholesale changes, you know.
no,
So it's like we traded up for the first pick, you know, and it had took two of the best players they could have, you know, Rhyne Howard and Nas Zelman both on the USA team, and you brought in Sean Parker prior to last season, but she was out because she was
had
pregnant,
a baby. Yeah,
you know, and then now it's like you're bringing in players who have either had overseas seasoning or have been solid in the WNBA for a while. This team is showing you that they had to fight and resolve. You know, you're getting players that may have not had a chance or a true chance, I'll say, anywhere else. You know, Nia Coffey has been in this league for a good minute, but she hasn't had a true chance. Megan Walker came out there hitting big threes. She hasn't had a big chance. So I think we're having a whole team that just buys in that this is our opportunity.
let's talk about you. Of course, your name is Christy Wallace's ponytail, but let's talk about Miss Christie. Um, man, amazing start to I guess you could so-called rookie season. Um, even though we know she's been in the league for 3 4 years. Is it 3 years since he's been drafted?
Yeah, I think I want to say 2018 because she was a third
Yeah.
round pick.
So kind of because of the whole ACL tears. Um, crazy, crazy start to a rookie slash junior campaign, like a Ben Simmons type of campaign. Kind of crazy what she did. She's playing really elite level defense, and her offensive game is
Give me
kind of
1 second. I gotta
smooth.
come back in.
It's just it's she's been really smooth about it. So what do you? Well, of course she is your name, but how do you really feel about her whole game and what she's brought to this team? He must have dropped. I didn't know he dropped. But yeah, we can go ahead and I don't know where he is. Let me see. We'll go ahead and talk about what we see tomorrow versus the Aces. I think for me, my whole expectation for us to when we play this Aces team, I think we're going 3-0. It'd be really hard for me to see us lose to them. With the momentum we have and being at home, I think is the best part. What's up, Davonte? Welcome back. Just talking about what I see versus the Aces. I think that we're gonna go 3-0 just off of momentum. Um, I think we have a really strong campaign to go 3-0. Because I don't see that the Aces team is scary after what we did these first two games.
Yeah, I certainly agree. I'm starting to not look at these teams that are like, oh, we're going to get blown out the water because everybody saw that, that everybody thought that was the case for game two because we were, as far as talent, alone, farly outmatched, but it's more so your will and do you want to take over? Do you want to win that game? So it's whoever the best team is for game three and so on and so forth. So I think that we can't start looking at these games and start penciling in. Oh well, this team is going to beat us. This team is going to do that because this dream team is not and unlike any other dream team we've had. We've got a woman named Christy Wallace who's coming in on her rookie season, looking like she's seasoned out there. 2 ACL tears and is coming back because for this team, for it be 144 players, it's very difficult to earn a spot. And especially for third round players, because a third round player is almost like a training contract. So Christy Wallace had to be special to remain on this team, and that's what she showed us in the preseason that she can come out here and make the right plays and be a secondary ball handler. So I'm excited to see her contribution, even when Tiffany Hayes come back, and how the bench unit may react to her being that secondary ball handler, maybe next to Eric McDonald in the second unit.
That's a scary. This is a that's a scary thing to talk about. I guess we can speak on that if with Tiffany coming back. I don't know exactly when, but when she does, and she asserts herself into that starting lineup, we don't know if it's going to be immediate. I don't think it'll be immediate that she comes in and starts. But if she does, and she asserts herself into that role, what is Christy? If you're Christy and you're going, you'll probably be the one to go to the bench, unless she beats out Erica Wheeler, but she'll probably be the one to go to the bench. Um, what is your your goal on the bench? You're a benchmark player at that point. Like you gotta, she has to have a certain you know standard. Like what does that do for our bench unit too? Like
I
for her,
think
what does it do to
that
her
would boost the
confidence
bench
in our
unit
bench?
because she has that starting experience and because she knows how to be the secondary ball handler. I think Ari, Ari being 5'6", she has cat like quickness, but she's small. So I think if she gets into trouble, Christy Walls can run offense from that point, pick and roll, and get to her spots and help that second unit. Especially with Monique Billings being the screen and roll player, screen and roll woman, and it can hit her post moves where she's very proficient in the post. So I think that will definitely just boost the second unit. So I'm hoping and can't wait for Tiffany Hayes' return whenever her overseas commitments are done.
I think when you think about the whole situation with um bringing Christy to the bench, Ma, you give us that other defensive player next to Ari. I mean Ari, and that kind of man, that's a crazy 1-2 punch at guard, really and truly. I don't think I think that's a thing that people aren't gonna understand. Is like that's a really defensive that's a defensive tank for a 1-2 guard. So getting into, like I was saying, we were talking about we were actually talking about Chrissy before you dropped. What is her, what is her, we'll just solo her real quick, her, contributions to this team and these as her in that starting role. What has that done for, what has she shown you in that spot?
You talking about Christy in the starting room?
Yeah, Christy.
Yeah, like I've seen her just get out and get after it, especially like after a turnover. She would already be down to down cherry pick. Just stuff like that I haven't seen from this team in a while. They're getting out and running in transition. This team's new identity is transition. They are seriously using their youth and running around, because prior years would be a little bit slower offense and try to get the three, but now it's like you don't see them really stand around much unless they're trying to set up a play. This team has been trying to run teams out the gym. So that's something I've seen, and Christy is definitely down for that.
I think that's the fun part. And it's so crazy that we talk about being in deep in transition and stuff like that. And we talk about, Christy having 2 ACL tears and she's still out here outrunning most of these girls on the court. Like that's something unheard of if you really think about it. Like how are you outrunning them? And you've been through 2 basically massive knee surgeries. That's kind of crazy what she's doing. That's why I'll give her credit because she's doing something special. Like that's something that's unheard of. But what is your so what is your opinion going into the rest of the season? After the Aces, I think we're away. I think we got 2 away games. I think after the Aces, then we come back home. So, do you think we go on this crazy stretch of games and we, go 10-0, or do you think we finally kind of get a team to beat us?
I mean, anything is possible. I do think they're probably going to kind of settle around and get a few losses here and there. But the way this team is playing, as cohesive as they are, as hard as they're playing, as fast as they're running, they can do it all. So I'm not going to project exactly when they're going to win, exactly when they're going to lose. But I just know that this team is something special and it's something different than years prior. Under Coach Wright, you can just definitely tell through it. I haven't been yet, so through a TV screen, you can tell about how the energy is. It's something different watching the game and starting to believe in Rhyne Howard. We don't know who Rhyne Howard is, but we're believing in the second coming of a superstar since we had Angel McCarthy.
I say, I gave Ryan her Jordan title last night. Like that's where I see her being for the W. Like she has the potential and the absolute talent to be one of the greatest, if not the greatest, women's basketball player in my eyes, especially for my generation. Because, bro, there isn't a female player that has had that much hype coming out of college. But well, I think Paige is touching her. I think Paige is the only one that is keeping up with that much hype coming out of college. But man, I just can't see it, man. I can't see Paige being better than Ryan. It's like what she came in and did. She looks like a vet. Like I've never seen a rookie come in and she looks like a vet. Like she has no weakness in her game. She hasn't turned the ball over a lot. She had 4 blocks in her first game. She's just setting rookie records back to back to back to back. Like she's gonna have one of the best rookie seasons of in a long time.
Yeah, she is certainly special. It's only certain players that come in the league that you can look and tell and say, you know, that she's the one. So Rhyne Howard is the one, and fortunately, she is the one for Atlanta. So the future is as bright as possible. You know, it's bright to shine bright like a diamond. That's what I'm gonna call it this season. Shine bright like a diamond season. So I'm expecting Rhyne Howard to continue her rookie campaign and not really take no lumps because she looked like she and took all the lumps in college. So I'm just excited for Ryan. I'm excited for when Tiffany comes back. I'm excited how the entire team plays for the rest of the season.
That's the SEC basketball, SEC women's basketball. I'm sorry, I had to be biased. Um, but no, I think that's the fun part about bringing to like this season is going to be so fun. I'm telling people, please buy in. That's all I ask. Just buy in and trust the process. We're not Philly. We're not going to trust that process, but buy in. Really and truly, just buy in and do what you have to do to get to these games. Do what you have to do to watch these games. You know, like make sure that people know that we are supporting our team in Atlanta. Um, we go ahead and wrap it up right there. Anything else you want to add, Davonte?
Nah, man, I think we covered everything now. All I can say is, so for everybody who's watching, for everybody that will watch, get some tickets. This team is here to stay. It is not that expensive. It is cost affordable. You got some good. It's Atlanta, so you already know we got some good food. So come in, show up, get some shirts. I know they had the LA is not Atlanta shirts. Now y'all know for sure LA ain't Atlanta. So come support this team. Come show out. Come show us what you're made of, and let's dream a good dream.
Yeah, let's dream a good dream. I like that. Um, I mean, let's talk about last year. You go and draft Gary Payton, the female Gary Payton. This year you go draft the GOAT. I mean, let's think about that. You went and got two. You went and got two generational stars, and y'all might think because Ari isn't starting that she's not generational. The girl's generational. Just wait for it. I'm telling you, we got a squad, bro. And we can do nothing but not get better. You really went and got a first round talent in Nas Human in the second round. Like you got to think about that. Like this team is built to win. So let's 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 be excited. Let's just be excited, and of course, let's be excited about Atlanta sports, all of them. I know it's hard for United right now because we lost Guzan and Robinson. You're a Falcons fan, of course. We lost Matt, but think about who we just drafted. You got a quarterback that you wanted. You got a quarterback that you should like and have. This man said he was gonna get us a Super Bowl. So every sport has excitement. Just follow them and do it how you're supposed to. Be excited about the sports. Go ahead and get out of here. Go ahead and follow me on Twitter at Call on Tyrone ATL. Subscribe to the channel, of course. Like the video, leave a comment if you listening after. We did this live. Yo, come to the live shows. The live shows are fun. You can get the comment live. We'll answer your question live. And college football is coming back, so you'll get to see a lot more of me coming soon. I got a couple of things in the works, so make sure you follow my Twitter and follow. You know what I'm doing, as I'm posting on there more than probably anything else. Anything you want to plug, Devontae?
You can follow me on my social medias at Cookie by Nature. I am mostly active on Twitter. And also, follow our group, our entire group, Georgia Spots Hospitality Media. We are trying to create something special. Follow them on Twitter at GSHM_group. I have to keep saying this. We follow everybody back. We're not stingy. We don't got no big ratio. Come follow us because we support y'all as y'all support us. Y'all want to come on the show? Y'all want to hop on and give y'all takes on whatever team we're talking about? We'll go ahead and put the link out there because we are for the people.
Yeah. I mean, we talk about everything. So please follow the group. Get the group active on Twitter. We'll always be posting stuff on there. I'm always posting on Fever's page. I'm always keeping you updated on some sport. So, please, give us a follow on our main pages. Those are the pages that if you really want your sports news, follow those pages. Follow Fever at Fever_SP on Twitter, and follow GSHM. I mean, dude, we do this. We talk these sports stuff, man. Follow Matt, Mike too, of course. You guys know we're all together. We all work together. We always the unholy alliance is what we're called. So go ahead and give us a follow and let us know. We know that we know our stuff. If we know something, we know sports. But with that, we're gonna get ahead and get out of here. Let me get to my outro. Peace.